Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the RLSFineArt podcast. Today, we have special guest Mr. Nitz, who will be sharing insight in his background and what we can expect from him in the future. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to RLS Fine Arts Podcast. I'm your host, CG3, and I have special guest Principal Mr. Nitz.
Thanks for having me here.
And my first question is, how do you like this school? Because I know you came from, another state?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas, and you're adjusting to being up in the Midwest now. And I was wondering, how are you taking everything and adjusting to our school?
I'm at a very different place than I was a year ago. A year ago, I didn't know I was coming to Illinois until kind of the last minute, and so I had to sell the house, get here quickly. So a bit of a scramble of sorts. What was different last year was every day was a brand new day. And so every day I met someone new. So I was like, who's this kid right here? Figured out what your name was and that kind of thing. And so much as that's a good thing, and I like that, means every day you go home exhausted trying to keep up with what's happening, what's this event, who are these people. And so it's been very different as after you're going to know people, as I really have had a chance to know what's coming up now. I see kids in the hallway. I get to call you by name, ask how your football's going, that kind of thing. So I'm really different place as far as just having a chance to breathe and catch up. So actually, I'm really enjoying this year so far because I've enjoyed the people a lot more.
Speaking of this year, it is our homecoming week. Unfortunately, football does not have a game, but I mean, that benefits a lot of us, seeing that I have a messed up foot now. But given that it's homecoming week, what about this atmosphere that we have at this school makes it different than what you had before?
You know, it's not really that it's different. It's just different people. And part of the fun of homecoming is basically just trying to do something different. Much as I like school as it is, the same thing every day is boring for every one of us. And so here, I like we're doing something different this week. And just having different events to go to, different dress code and so forth. I think the students this week, we're having fun. Are we getting as much done? Probably not, but having some good psychological de-stressing time. Reality was the school I was at previously, we had homecoming, had a lot of the same events, different names, same concept, but it's good for the life of a school.
And I like that you talked about activities and stuff we're doing here. What's your favorite activity that we've done so far this week?
This week, honestly, this will sound weird, but it's the fact that how many of the students have taken on ownership and leadership. It's not the activity itself, but that the kids themselves are running the events. And so I've been proud of our student council and a lot of our people stepping up, helping out. Kids cooking yesterday, kids being a part of the events tonight. So it's not really a single event for me, but watching the powder puff volleyball game, kids getting excited into it, the girls coaching and reffing and so forth. I really appreciate not the event, but the kids' leadership.
You speak about leadership, and I love what you've done for our school. I mean, you're probably one of the best principals I've had in the longest time.
I'll pay you later.
And what makes you feel like you bring the most to the table when it comes to our school and what you've done for our students?
I'll be clear, I do not think I'm the best principal in the world. I have no belief of that. All right. I will say that though, my family is one of teachers. That's all I've ever known. I've only been in schools my entire life. My parents are teachers, and somewhere in there I fell in love with schools because I think that your generation of kids, I'm gonna say nursery school kids are cute, but they cry and they pee and stuff. I'm not ready for that. And I really appreciate you're old enough and ready to deal with things and learn. There's so many great things happening right now. To me, really what I want to bring to a school is I want to let you know that I appreciate you being here. And so what I think I'm trying to do right now is treat you the way I want to be treated. I want to make it clear that we are excited to see you every day. A school without kids, it's pretty darn boring. And so for me, I want parents to know that we see them as our allies. And I think part of the mindset was previous few years, they just didn't have enough people doing certain things. And so people were scrambling a little bit. I think as we add more people to our school, we're trying to make it clear we're here to support you. I very much believe what we're doing this week is for you. And so I come with my best to try and serve. I'm sure I do a horrible job some days. But my goal is to try and make sure that, you and each one of you have an opportunity to grow, to learn. And I enjoy that. I really enjoy that part of the job. So I'm sure there's parts I'm not doing well, but I'm hoping that people understand and feel that I'm here to support them, encourage them, and be there for them.
Well, I think that we can all say that is very warming to hear from our principal. What's one thing that you haven't told us about yourself that you feel we should know?
It's interesting. There are layers to an onion that you peel off one at a time. What I didn't want to do last year is throw the whole thing at you right away. I figured one thing at a time. I'll say, this isn't my first year, and so I have lots of stories. For example, later this year, I want to tell you about the tornado that hit my school. I want to show you pictures and talk about that part of my life and the crazy things we had going on in different schools. I've had a lot of different stories of different kids and situations. I don't think you need to know them all today. And so my goal is one at a time as we get to know each other, deepen a relationship between the teachers trying to support our students, is to share ourselves and also let you guys share with us. I think it's important that it goes both ways. I love when kids can teach me something because there's so much that I don't know. What you guys are doing right now, I've never done this before. I think it's awesome. And to me, I love to watch what you guys are doing and learn from you. And hopefully, as we get to know each other slowly over time, we can kind of support each other in life. So I'm going to hold off on what those stories are. Maybe later this year we'll talk about the tornado hit. But for me, that's one day at a time kind of thing.
Well, that's a story I would love to hear. Given that this is a Christian school, do you feel this being in this atmosphere and being around these people, has it helped you grow your faith in God, or have you always been a Christian?
I'll say it's always been a part of my life. From birth on. To me, though, it's not enough to call yourself it. It's a relationship. I'm not a Christian because I'm in a church. I'm in a relationship because I'm choosing to be in one with God.
Amen.
And to me, what I think it's important is being an environment where you can share your faith. I am actually for public schools. I just don't want to stop and leave my faith at the door. I also want to talk about my faith as well. And so for me, I want those schools to be great, but I want also the place here where kids can talk about faith, conversations about ethics, our values, what's important to us. And so for me, I love when I get a chance to lead chapel, or love when I get a chance to pray, because I don't want to leave that part of myself behind. I want all the schools to be great for all the students. I love that we get to talk about our faith here. I'm not a perfect man. I'm a sinner who needs God every day. But to me, that is what we're about, is trying to be people who support each other in our faith walk.
You talk about making our school greater, better. What is one thing that you feel we still need to change at our school to be at that next level?
I don't think there's a single thing. I think it's if you have a good football game and it goes well, you don't say, well, I didn't reach the summit. It's all right, go back on Monday and keep working at it. And so for me, I see some great teachers doing some great classes, but you teach the next day too. I think there's some more opportunities for engagement, I'll put it that way. I think sometimes we spend a little bit too much time focusing at a board and talking, which is a great learning style, but it's not the only learning style. I'd love to find a way that we had some internships, or we had some leaving the building and going more field trips, be more active in what we do. I'd love to have more computer classes or things where we have some business people come in and talk to us. So I would love to do more engagement activities in our classes. Love what we're doing, but I think we can do more to help kids feel like they're engaged in what they're doing.
Well, a lot of good things we heard today. That is RLS Podcast. Thank you, Mr. Nitz.
Appreciate your time.
Hope to have you again.
Sounds great.